All right, everyone, welcome back. Hopefully everyone had a nice lunch break. Jaime Aldapia, you're back.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm back.
All
Apparently,
right.
I believe what happened was my client is on bond for the felony, but he had a warrant for the misdemeanor. So I guess he's in custody.
All right, Norma, can you check to see if Fred Rodriguez is in custody? And Flavio Hernandez, we're waiting for your client to Zoom on. I don't see him on Zoom.
Yes, ma'am. I'll contact him.
All right, thank you. And the interpreter for him is here.
Thank you.
Jose Zamora.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Yes. You
Yes,
have,
good, Judge.
all right, just one moment, Mr. Barrera. Jose Zamora, you have, I'm sorry, your attorney is Roy Barrera. Ryan,
Yes.
yes. All right, Roy, have you had a chance to speak to any of the prosecutors on this case?
Oh, yes, we are in discussions and I guess you say in negotiations. They're not complete. We were both considering options for resolving these matters. I don't see the prosecutor on the screen.
Just one moment. They should be zooming in. Has an offer, Joe Ray?
Well, tentatively, yes, Judge. But it's not anything in writing or concrete. Everything is still in a state of flux, but we're hopefully we'll arrive at something today.
Okay. All righty. Then what we'll do, who were you conferring with? Was it David Martin or Joe Ray Garcia?
Neither one. It was a woman,
Who
a lady,
did that have?
a lady prosecutor.
Oh, that was Laura Metzel. Laura Metzel is not with us anymore.
Oh,
And I need to watch how I say that, because when I say someone's not with us anymore, people tend to think that they passed on. But
right.
she's transferred to another court. So
Oh.
she's still with
Well,
us.
thank you for clarifying that. Yeah.
It's better.
Well, so who inherited this case then from Laura? Because Laura made notes.
All right. It would be either Joe Ray Garcia or it would be David Martin.
Whatever the court's pleasure is, just whoever wants to discuss it. I think, unfortunately, we may have to start out from scratch because we've Laura and I made a lot of headway on cutting the underbrush.
Oh, wait. I think if they don't have any notes, I know they'll be able to get in touch with Laura.
Good.
Joe Ray, are you going to be the person taking this case, or is it going to be David Martin?
Judge, I'm sorry, what is the case?
It's Jose Zamora. It's on page 7.
That'd be David Martin, Judge.
I
All
think
right.
so. I think it's David Martin, Judge.
Okay, well, David will be zooming in shortly and we will get that taken care of.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
And Judge, Mr. Rodriguez is not in jail, Judge.
Well, say, put yourself on mute.
All right, Jaime, I'm being told that your client is not in custody.
Okay, then that's fine, Judge.
Do
I
you
can
know
just-
where he is? If I give you till tomorrow, will he appear?
No, Your Honor, we had been speaking some time ago, but I've been trying to get a hold of him this week and the number is not in service. And even the text messages, it comes back to me. So I can send a letter if I had a couple more days.
When's the last time you had contact with your client?
That's what I'm looking up, Judge.
All right. And Mr. Hernandez, your client is just zooming in, and I'm going to send you, him, and the interpreter to a breakout room.
Thank you.
Do you have all the paperwork?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay, so I'll send you all to a breakout room. And I will send you all to breakout room number 1.
I have received all the prosecutor's papers. If there's anything from the court, I haven't gotten it.
All right, Norma on his client.
Mr. Hernandez, I sent it to you last night
Okay, I'll check.
at about midnight, maybe 1 o'clock in the morning.
That's right, we did that. Thank you. We're
All
done.
right,
And Your
Mar-
Honor, to
just
answer
one
your
second.
question,
Oh, just one second. Maria, could you let Mr. Boulez know that he can go, that he needs to go to breakout room number 1, please?
Sure, Judge. Monsieur Ouellet, est-ce que vous m'entendez? Monsieur Ouellet, I don't see him anymore.
He's muted. There he is.
Ok.
Monsieur Ouellet, vous devez accepter l'invitation pour aller à la salle de conférence numéro 1.
Oui, oui, je le sais sur mon téléphone, mais je ne sais pas pourquoi ça n'accepte pas.
OK. Vous devez appuyer sur le bouton bleu qui dit Join. Join.
Merci, he's there now.
OK.
All right, Jaime, yes.
the last contact I'm showing, because when he calls, I have an answering service and it records not the call itself, but the entry, was January 14th. Since then, the phones haven't been responsive.
All right, if you want, I can give your client until tomorrow. Because
Okay.
you're telling me there was some confusion, maybe you thought he was in custody.
Well, I received a text saying that he was. That's why I came back, Judge.
Who texted you?
I got a text from Norma today, Judge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, he's not in custody. It shows that he is on
Yeah,
bond.
I thought he was in custody, Judge. And he's
All right, let me ask you, Norma, did you check to see if he's in custody on the County Court 6 case?
yes, and he's not.
So do you want a chance to call the bondsman and see if the bondsman knows where he is?
I'll call him today, Judge, and hopefully I get a hold of him by tomorrow. So I'll follow up.
All right, Norma, can you call Mr. Fred Rodriguez for tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we will recall him for tomorrow, and he needs to be here and he needs to be on time. And I'm allowing it to be recalled for tomorrow because I guess there's some confusion from you on whether or not he was in custody.
Maybe excuse, Your Honor.
Yes,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. All right, Mr. Cox?
Yes, ma'am, Judge.
Yes.
Okay, I conferred with Marcus on Imari Freeman.
All right, and what are we doing with Mr. Freeman?
Well, he has some cases that are relatively not brand new, and he got a couple cases that haven't been indicted yet. So we were, Marcus, he made me an offer, and I'll talk to my client about it. But I think that probably I'm going to need a reset on this case.
All right, just one second. Just give me a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Cox, as soon as Mr. Freeman arrives back, we will, or do you need to speak to your client?
I spoke to him already just in the breakout room. So earlier, so I don't really need to talk to him at this point. The new cases, like I said, new cases haven't been indicted yet. So I'll go to the jail and I'll talk to him in terms of the offer. And I spoke to him a little bit about the offer, but we didn't make a counter offer to the state. So I need some time to grapple with some things with my client and see if we're going to make a counter offer.
All right. How much time do you need, Mr. Cox?
I guess we run a normal 30-day cycle or 45-day cycle, Judge, whichever.
Oh, no, we're not on the 45-day cycle.
Not 45.
Norman.
Okay.
Hey, but you know what? It never hurts to ask.
I misremembered that. I'm sorry.
Norma, on Amari Freeman, can you give me a 30-day reset on that, please?
The 24th.
All right, so we'll come back on June 24th.
Okay, thank you, Judge. It's always
You're welcome.
Being the 187 District Court.
Aw, thank you. Have a good one.
Have a good one, Judge.
All right, bye-bye. Hello, Flavio, you're back.
Yes, ma'am. We need the paperwork for the interpreter to read to my client. I signed it and forwarded it, so I don't have access to it.
All right, that paperwork hasn't appeared in my, it hasn't appeared in the box to me in my email box.
Then, it should be in my client's email then, and he's at
Yes.
work. Let me make,
And he should be able to share screen.
let me try that. Thank you, Judge. Sorry.
You're welcome, no problem. And Joe Ray, any update on David Martin?
Oh, let me call him real quick, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Um,
And Norma, who's going to be representing Mr. Prince?
Mr. McCrum, and he's not able to make it in today, Judge.
All right. Mr. Prince?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. McCrum is not going to be able to make it in today, but that's who your attorney is. Or Norma,
Okay.
is there a specific day we can recall it so he can meet his attorney?
Do you want me to reset it for 2 weeks, Judge, or when do you want me to reset it for?
Yeah, let's reset it in 2 weeks.
Would I have to contact him, or would he have all my contact information?
You're going to have to contact him,
Okay.
but he will receive the appointment order, and your appointment order hopefully will get to him so that he'll have your contact information.
Okay.
But we'll make sure you have his contact information before you leave.
And I'll reset it for June 7th, Judge.
All right, it's going to be June 7th,
June 7th.
Mr. Prince.
Okay.
And if you'll stay on the Zoom, we'll get you his number and address. All right, Mr. Prince, I put in the chat box. Can you read that? All right, it's its address, and that's the phone number that's listed with the State Bar.
Okay.
All right, David Martin.
Yeah.
Roy Barrera is here to speak on Mr. Zamora. He says that he had been conferring with Laura Metzel.
Okay.
Roy Barrera, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2 with Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Mr. Freeman.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Your
Hello.
attorney is Cornelius Cox. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Cox told us that he had spoken with you and he's going to set up another appointment to meet with you.
Mm-hmm.
But your case is going to be recalled for June 24th.
June 24th. Okay.
Yes.
And Miss Boyd, was I not supposed to leave or something?
No, we had a break for lunch so that everyone could have their lunch break.
Mm-hmm.
So you're fine.
All right. All right. No, I was just trying to see because I had talked to my lawyer in the break room, but he told me like basically he was gonna reset it, I guess. But he didn't give me a date.
Yes. So your date is June 24th. Okay.
All right.
All right.
You.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Norma, can you let them know that 14K can go back? All right, Deputy Laura, is Nicholas Valdez in the courtroom yet?
No, Your Honor, nobody's here.
All right, thank you.
Judge, this is Terry Carter. I'll call him and find out where he's at.
Sure.
Judge, this is Terry Carter. I just spoke to Mr. Valdez. He's driving and said he will be in the courtroom before 3 o'clock.
Okay,
He says
sure.
he's 7 minutes out. So with parking, hopefully he's there with time to spare.
Okay, no problem.
Judge, I'm back with Roy Barrera.
All right. Roy
I'm
Barrera,
back.
where?
I don't see him back yet.
Let me see. Yeah, you left him in the room. Did you lock the door?
Yeah. I mean, I pushed him out the window and said, go back. But I didn't see him. Well, I can give you the gist of our conversation until he logs back on or comes back. He had been working with Laura on trying to do an acceptable plea on these cases. But I don't see any notes in here from Laura from her last conversation with the complainants. So I just need to, if you could recall it next week, so I can get with Laura and see, I guess, what that conversation with the complainants were. And if she didn't get a hold of them, give me a chance to get a hold of them and see if we can't come to a resolution next week on the case.
All right. Can you do me a favor and go to breakout room number 2 and help unlock the door so Mr. Barrera can come back to the main room?
Yeah.
I think he's stuck there.
David, you're muted. David keeps talking, but he's muted, Judge.
I know. What happened? I hate this thing. No. Yeah, he was waiting on hold with some sweet elevator music when I was talking to him. And now he's back. Now his back's turned and he looks like he's talking on the phone with whoever that was. So maybe he'll be back when he gets off that phone call.
He's here.
Oh, told you. See?
Roy, I thought you were locked in the room. Oh, you're muted.
They let me out of the room and I'm back.
I mean, it was like an episode out of Criminal Minds. I was like, did you lock Roy in the room and you won't let him out?
You're gonna put an APB out for me.
Yeah.
I have conferred with David, and David, I believe, needs to confer with Laura, as I believed. And I think he was going to ask the court for a return in 1 week. Is that right, David?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Norma, can we recall this back for next week then?
Yes, ma'am. We can do Wednesday. Is that enough time?
Yeah,
yes.
That's fine.
Judge, I can do Wednesday only if it's in the, hold on, let me see, let me check real quick, Judge, please.
We're here all day, Bobby.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Roy. Roy,
yeah,
I'm sorry. I called you Bobby. Forgive me.
No, listen, that's quite all right because he's 10 years younger, so you make me feel great. I have a 9 o'clock 186 in person. Are we all doing in person now?
The 187, we're still doing Zoom unless it's for a jury trial or unless it's something that requires witnesses.
Right. Wow. Judge, I am booked solid in the morning and in the afternoon on the 26th. Is there any other day we can get together?
Norma?
I can do the Tuesday in the afternoon, Thursday afternoon, and Friday morning.
Did you say Thursday?
Yes.
No. You said Friday?
Friday morning? Thursday afternoon?
I can do Friday morning, the 28th.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you both back here on the 28th.
28th, Friday morning at 9 o'clock.
Yes, and that'll be by Zoom.
That'll be by Zoom. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Have a good
And
one. Thank you,
Judge.
Mr. Zamora. Yes.
Thank you for still Zooming.
Oh, you're welcome.
I think that's, I don't know how much longer they'll let you Zoom, or is that up to you, or is that up to the other judges, or what?
Oh, no, that's not up to me.
It is not?
No, we receive orders from on high. And when I say on high, the state of Texas and then the administrative judge. But, of course, the state of Texas trumps things. But so far, a lot of us are continuing with Zoom.
Right.
There's going to be a CLE that's coming up, and it's going to give everyone, at least when I say everyone, defense attorneys and prosecutors, a better idea of how things are going to proceed. But jury trials are starting, I want to say June 3rd.
Yeah. I would hope that we evolve into a bifurcated docket where, when appropriate, we can Zoom with the court on a Zoom day, and where appropriate, we have a personal appearance day if necessary.
I think there may be some type of hybrid, but we'll see.
Okay.
I'll put in my 2 cents.
Thank you, Judge. Thanks a lot.
All right, and I'll let. Hopefully, I know that defense attorneys and prosecutors will all get together, and hopefully we can make it work as a hybrid system.
I hope so. I hope so. Okay. Are we excused until next Friday?
Yes, May
Thank
28th by Zoom. You're welcome. Have a good one.
You too, Judge. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, Mr. Zamora. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge. You too. Thank you.
Welcome. All right, Juan, we had a slight problem with your client. And so Norma's going to see if there may not be anything for us to do on our end. It may have to be recalled. So my understanding is there were like maybe some issues at the jail with your client. And again, I don't have any facts before me, so I will not hold anything against your client. But my understanding, the terminology they use, he was acting up, not being cooperative.
Well, so Judge, if I could just give you a quick summary, we are willing to move forward with a plea. We're just not sure which way we're going to go with this. I am scheduled to meet with him tomorrow at 11:30. So if we can, I'm happy to reschedule this or reset this for any time starting Monday, the 24th. But we are looking for an agreement. But just not the state has made 2 offers, and I'm not really comfortable moving forward with one or the other until I talk to my client.
I'll say, okay, so Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
did they give you an update on Mr. Delgado? Would they prefer for us to call him on another day?
Yes, he needs to be
All right.
called another day.
So what date can we give him for next week, Norma?
I can do Wednesday, Judge.
Is Wednesday okay with you, Mr. Urbina?
Wednesday, May 26th. Yes, that works, Judge.
All right, we will see you then.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if there's any paperwork that's needed, please let the court coordinator know and the state know so they can have that prepared.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
And Norma, when are we recalling Mr. Greer?
Who's the other one that was acting up as well, Judge?
Yes. And is there any word on his attorney, Mr. White?
Yeah, he's actually zooming in another court, Judge. He's just zooming in another court. He's really busy.
Okay.
I can call him back. On Wednesday.
Okay.
We'll do Wednesday.
All right, we'll see him then. And Norma, I'm sorry, on John Espinoza, did we get what are we doing with Mr. Espinoza and who's the attorney?
He was supposed to hire someone, Judge.
Okay. Deputy Laura, has there been a John Espinoza in the courtroom?
Your Honor.
All right, that's going to be a bond forfeiture on Mr. Espinoza. And a remain without bond. All right, and Norma, what is happening with Charlie Perkins?
That's with Mr. Alexander, right? Yeah, Carl
Yes.
Alexander, he's supposed to show up at Carl's office. They were gonna go over plea paperwork.
Okay.
He's supposed to be in between 2:30 and 3 o'clock.
All right, thank you.
I just don't know what he was pleading to, Judge. I haven't got the information, so I can send over the documents.
All right, no problem. Oh, Flavio, you're back?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to speak with Joe Ray if possible.
All right, Joe Ray?
Yes, Judge.
All right, I'm gonna send you to a breakout room with Mr. Hernandez. If you go to breakout room number 2, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Terry Carter. I'm being told that your client is in the courtroom.
I'm here, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Valdez? Okay, Mr. Valdez, did you stop on the way to get a haircut or something? Your hair looks completely different. Am I wrong, Brenda, on that?
I slept in late. I told you this morning.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Valdez, we're here because you're late.
Right.
This is what I was always taught, and actually I was taught this in first grade. I was taught that you should always be on time and that everybody's time is valuable. My time is no more valuable than yours or anybody else's on the screen. And I was told that when you show up late for things, for example, when you showed up late for court, you know what that tells the person? That even though you were supposed to be somewhere and you promised to be somewhere, you're telling that person that I have something that's more important and this doesn't matter. You understand? So whenever you're late for anything, that's telling that person that you're not that important and I have something else that's more important. And because you were late, you know what ends up happening? You end up inconveniencing your attorney. She was here on time at 9. Now you've got her here in the afternoon at 2:50 p.m. I'm sure there's something else she'd rather be doing, something she'd rather be doing than receiving the lecture that I'm giving you, because she already knows to be on time. So do not let this happen again. If it happens again, we're going to have some issues.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Carter, have you had a chance to confer with the state and get an offer from the state on these cases?
Your Honor, currently I believe it's four pending family violence cases. I spoke to Joe Ray this morning. Those cases are going to be rejected. I spoke with Marcus. He said he is getting me some videos for the new possession case. And once he confirms that the 4 family violence cases have been in fact rejected, he's going to make me a probation offer that I will then relay to my client. So to answer your question in a very long-winded way, I do not have an offer, but that is basically the status of our case as of today.
All right, so were you given any kind of time frame of when they would have these videos for you?
No, Judge, it was through a text message after we had previously conferred. It's it's Bexar County Sheriff's Office. In my experience, they usually take about maybe 3 weeks because I believe they send discs as opposed to having access like they do with the Coban with SAPD. So if I could ask for 30 days, I think that would be sufficient time to review evidence. I'm sorry?
The problem with that is that, yes, it takes them 30 days or 3 weeks. But this case has been indicted and we've been having hearings on this case since February.
Agreed, Judge. There is one felony possession case that has not been indicted yet. They received the drugs back the 22nd of April. So I do expect that to be sent to the grand jury very soon. But that's why there was some delays on getting the videos on that particular case. Okay, but I do agree with you. It is my intention, my hope that we're going to bring resolution to this by the next setting. I just need a little bit more time.
Okay, because the drug case that hasn't been indicted, from what I'm looking at on this docket sheet, it's a possession 1 gram to 4 grams.
That is correct, Judge.
And the case that's been indicted is a possession 4 to 200 grams.
Correct, the higher felony.
So, Norma, on Mr. Valdez, recall this in 3 weeks.
Yes, ma'am. You can do June 7th.
All right, we're going to come back on June 7th, Mr. Valdez. That's going to be June 7th at 9 a.m. not 9:01, not 9:02, but 9 a.m. Do you understand? I can't hear you.
Ma'am, I understand.
All right, I'm gonna allow you to do it by Zoom, but if you're late,
No
I'm
more
not
time.
gonna let you continue to inconvenience everyone.
Okay.
All right, I'll recall the warrant, although I don't think it has been placed in the system yet. And we'll come back on June 17th. I'm sorry, June 7th. And you can proceed by Zoom.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes,
Have a great weekend, everyone.
thank you, you too. And Maria, I'm sorry, I'm just waiting for them to see what is happening in their breakout room.
Yes, Judge, they had something to discuss. So
Okay. Yes, Flavio, you're back.
Yes, Your Honor. We have a little glitch
Okay.
in our agreement.
Yes.
I feel that my client needs to confer with an immigration lawyer prior to proceeding. Basically, he's being asked to plead guilty to a felony, which could cause his deportation, even though the recommendations is to prosecute as a misdemeanor. For an American, this is a simple reduction from felony to misdemeanor, 2 years probation.
He has an attorney to help him with the immigration. It was Teresa Coles-Davila. Just 1 second, I'll see if she can zoom in.
Thank you very much.
I know she speaks Spanish, Maria, but I don't know if she speaks French. So just give me one moment.
She could just read the English and give an opinion.
Oh, but I mean, to speak to your client.
sure.
That's what I mean. Just give me a moment.
Très bien.
All right, I just sent an email to see if she can zoom in. So just give us a moment. And Maria, if there is some place you need to zoom, let us know.
No.
I'm so sorry.
No, Judge, I'm good for today. That's all I had for the afternoon.
All right. Carl Alexander, you're with Mr. Perkins? Oh, we cannot hear you, Carl. Am I the only one who can't hear him, Brenna?
No, and I was about to say I like his setup, but
Yeah, but now we can't hold that compliment, Brenna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Judge, you filled every role in the system now. Huh? Defense lawyer, prosecutor, judge. What else is there?
Hey, mediator. There's always something else to do, right?
You have a unique perspective.
How's that, Judge?
there you are.
Yes, that's awesome.
I don't know why it does that. It tests just fine, but for some reason it'll just sort of error out once we actually get into it until I unplug it and replug it back in. So
I think he gets nervous.
Oh, and Carl, I just received the paperwork that came in from your end, but I don't have the application or the trial court certification.
I didn't get either one of those documents, Judge, but I'll be happy. It won't take but 2 seconds to fill it out, I think.
Okay, awesome.
I was going to ask about that. And then I did want to just give the court one heads up too. There's a correction on the first page of the plea packet paperwork. Under the court's admonishments and defendant's waiver and affidavit of admonitions, the statute that we're actually proceeding on is not 2903, it's 29.02.
Okay. If there are no objections to me changing that, I'll change that. All right, Maria, I have an update on the immigration attorney. She is actually right now, as we speak, giving a presentation, but she said she will be able to Zoom at 3:45.
All right.
Yeah.
I have no issue with that. Do you want us to log out and then log back at 3:45?
Yes, that would be fine. That way you can do other things, or if you just want
Yes.
to black out your screen and mute yourself and do other things, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. Yes, then I will just log out. And Mr. Hernandez, he has my email. If she by any chance logs in earlier than 3:45, I'm more than happy to log in earlier too.
Thank you. Merci
We
beaucoup.
appreciate it.
Okay, merci. À tout à l'heure.
Mr. Sakala, let's come back at 3:40.
Monsieur Sekala, vous m'entendez? Monsieur Ouellet?
Yeah.
On va être de retour avec l'avocat de migration à 3h40.
And could you let him know to find a place that's stationary because there's a lot of movement on his end because I believe he's a passenger in a vehicle. But I think he's at work.
Oui, monsieur
Ok, madame.
Ouellet, on va être de retour avec l'avocat de migration à 3h40 et Madame la juge, elle vous demande au moment qu'on va retourner, d'être dans un endroit qui n'est pas en mouvement parce qu'en ce moment, vous êtes un passager. D'accord?
Yeah, ici en train de délivrer marchandises. Non, il va garer quelque part.
And Maria, tell him to please don't smoke or do anything he wouldn't do in a courtroom.
Et monsieur Ouellet, vous ne devez pas fumer ou faire quelque chose que vous n'êtes pas capable de faire dans une salle de tribunal.
Non, moi, je ne fume pas la cigarette, madame, je ne fume même pas.
Says
J'étais juste au travail.
He's not a smoker, but he's just
Je
at work.
vais garer quelque part maintenant, tout à l'heure.
But he's going to stop when we come back.
We'll see you at 3:45 then.
And Maria, I think Flavio is just asking you to say things because we love to hear you speak French. And could you, Maria, could you let him know it's a beautiful day outside and we don't expect rain today?
Le jour est bella.
Singing. Do you want me to sing?
Oui.
Okay.
Edith Piaf.
Monsieur Ouellet, on sera de retour à 3h40.
Ok, madame, à tout à l'heure. Merci beaucoup.
À tout à l'heure. Au revoir.
Be back.
Yes. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Judge. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
And Judge, while I'm waiting for the child court certification and the actual application for deferred, did the clerk want to swear in my client? I mean, he's at least signed that part of the paperwork.
Sure, I'll send you to a breakout room for the clerk to swear in your client. So let me find you. I'll send you to breakout room number 1. And if the clerks could go to number 1 to swear in his client, please.
Thank you, Judge.
Robert,
Yes.
I did not send any paperwork to Carl Alexander because I have not received the defendant's email address or.
Carl Alexander?
Yes, Judge.
Yes,
Sorry, I got up and walked away for a moment while we were.
yes. Norman needs email addresses.
Aha, okay.
Yeah.
I will put those in the chat right now.
Okay, awesome. But she needs your client's email address. You know, she needs 2 different email addresses.
Got it.
Thank you.
Carl.
Yes.
Are you applying for deferred or regular?
Deferred.
Deferred? Thank you.
Okay, Carl, it should be in your email.
I got the email, Judge. Just give me a couple minutes to go over it, Mr. Perkins, and we'll be signing everything.
All right, thank you.
The documents are signed and should be on the way.
All right, I will see if I have them. Has your client already been sworn in?
Yes, ma'am, he has.
Okay, as soon as it comes to me, yep, there we are. All right, I've signed everything on my end. I'm just waiting for the paperwork to be delivered to me. Thank you.
Judge, just to warn you, there's one other thing that Tom and I kind of discussed off record. On the plea bargain page, he gave us an alternative to the fine
Yes.
of a $500 donation to the San Antonio Food Bank. And Mr. Perkins would like to do that in lieu of paying the fine as part of his plea bargain.
All right, and Norma, can you call Flavio Hernandez and let him know that Ms. Davila is here?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So instead of the fine, it's $1,500 or a donation to the food bank, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. A $500 donation to the food bank.
What I'll do then is below the line, I'll just put $500 donation to the food bank. And usually I tend to follow what the agreement is.
Okay, Judge.
All right, and Teresa, we're gonna get them to zoom in, and the interpreter is zooming in. What they say the issue is, his client is not a citizen, and the state is asking for a guilty plea on a misdemeanor. So that's where we are. So as soon as they zoom in, back in, I'll put you in the breakout room with them and the interpreter. I didn't know if you spoke French or not.
I don't fluently, sorry.
That's okay.
So I sent them a Padilla letter, but I'll go over it with them in the breakout room.
Yes, and as
Okay.
soon as he and the interpreter zoom back in, and I'll send you all to a breakout room. Thank you so much for coming in.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Judge.
The court is calling 2020 CR 8537C, State of Texas versus Charlie Perkins. Could I have the parties announced for the record for the state,
Tom Nisbet.
for the defense?
Carl Alexander.
All right, and are you Mr. Perkins?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
No, ma'am.
Mr. Perkins, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you
Yes, ma'am.
understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Perkins, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you weigh the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Judge, we are proceeding on the lesser included offense of robbery.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Perkins, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the less included offense of robbery? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication or revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Perkins, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
What was that again? Can you say
Are
it
you
again, please?
are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Brenda, we're off the record for a moment. Mr. Hernandez, Ms. Coles Davila is here, immigration. If you'll let your client know and let the interpreter know, and I will send you and Ms. Davila to a breakout room. And when your client and the interpreter come in, I'll send them there as well. So I'll send you all to breakout room number 1. And the interpreter just came on, and I'll send her to 1 as well. So we just need your client. Maria, as soon as his client comes on the screen, I'll send you and the client to the breakout room, but I'll need you here so you can instruct him to go to the breakout room. Thank you.
Yes, Judge, I will.
Mr. Perkins, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of robbery. There's a $1,500 fine. There is no application for community supervision. The state recommends deferred adjudication. The state will take in consideration grand jury number 738121, county court cause number 650668, and there's to be restitution payable to Jose Aguilera, if any. And the court understands that the agreement was either for the $1,500 to be paid with the fine or either $500 donation to the San Antonio Food Bank. Mr. Perkins, did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Judge, just bond issues, so.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 80 hours of community service restitution, no contact with Jose Aguilera, Aubrey Reed, Amari Freeman, and Nicholas Cornelius, and proof of employment. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense of robbery, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
The state offers Exhibit 1 and attachments.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Perkins, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same.
Judge, I'm sorry, this is the interpreter. I received an email from Mr. Hernandez saying that they
Yes.
were ready in the breakout room.
Yes, and I don't know where his, I'll send you there. I don't know where his client is because his client hasn't appeared on the screen, but I've sent you to the breakout room.
Oh, I thought he was, but I can check.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, after viewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. All right, are we proceeding with sentencing?
We're prepared to waive PSI, Judge.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, I think pretty much the evidence speaks for itself. As you can see, his culpability, he's not the gunman. I think that was already factored in as far as the state's recommendation was concerned. This is his first felony offense ever. He has never been placed on any sort of community supervision here within the Bexar County adult system. And we're just asking you follow the plea bargain agreement and give him a chance at deferred.
All right, Mr. Perkins, if you're given a drug test today, what are the results going to be?
I don't smoke nothing, so it'll come out clean.
All right, so why were you with these people?
So Judge, you broke up there. I didn't catch that.
I'm sorry, why were you with these other people? Who are they to you?
There was just some friends that I knew. We were just hanging out that day.
Hanging out and decided to rob a FedEx truck.
Yes, man. We wasn't thinking, just on some dumb stuff.
Dumb stuff that could get you killed
Yes, ma'am.
and dumb stuff that could get other people killed.
Yes, ma'am.
How far did you go in school?
What happened? How far?
Sorry, how far did you go in school?
I think the ninth grade.
What is this with people dropping out of school at ninth grade? That seems, from the internal polling that I've done, when I see people on the screen, it's always ninth grade. So why didn't you graduate?
Cause I just stopped going to school really.
Why?
I got a son and stuff. I got 2 kids and stuff.
You have 2 children because
Yes, ma'am.
kids are baby. Okay, kids are billy goats.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and Carl, if you put me on your screen with the YouTube, I'm going to get feedback. All right, so how old are your children?
One is 1, other one is 7 months.
Well, how old are you?
19.
I don't translate. I'm dropping out of school at 9th grade. And I'm 19 and I dropped out in 9th grade because I have 2 children. So that means he would have to have been 18 or maybe 17 in the 9th grade. Is my math wrong? Are people 17 and 18 in the 9th grade now?
No, ma'am.
So that means you didn't drop out of school because you had your children in the 9th grade. So
Yes, ma'am.
how are you supporting this family? Because you decided to have children, commit a robbery, and not finish school. So how are you supporting them financially?
I have a job
Doing what?
at with food at the menudo place.
All right, I mean, but surely they're not paying enough to support a family.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you want to do for the rest of your life? What are you planning on doing?
I really don't know.
I mean, don't you think now is the time to make a decision because you have 2 children?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are your thoughts? Do you want to work at the menudo place for the rest of your life? Are you going to be the 70-year-old, the 90-year-old, I don't know, making bowls of menudo or serving bowls of menudo to people? Not that there's anything wrong with it, but is that your dream?
No, ma'am. That's not what I'm looking forward to.
So what is your dream and how are you going to accomplish that?
I'm still thinking, really.
Okay, your
My mom
thinking has got to stop by now. It's got to start being some planning because you have 2 children to support, unless you're dependent on taxpayers to support them. And I don't want to. I mean, I will, but I don't want to support children through my taxes because their parent is not doing it. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So have you tried to get jobs any other places or have any plans to move up in the menudo hierarchy?
No, ma'am. Well, I had like, I said if I worked there for a little longer, I think they give me like a blue hat, an extra raise. But I still need to look for another job because it's a 12-hour shift, so it's too much for me anyways.
All right, and here's the thing. I'm not, trying to be rude to you or put you down in any way, but it's just that you got to start thinking about what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life, because hopefully your 2 children are going to graduate from school. Hopefully they decide to go to a trade school, if they decide to go to college or whatever they decide to do with the rest of their life, that's going to cost money. And they're going to be wanting you to pay for it. And you really should pay for it. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So, do you live with your children?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is gonna do. It'll be a $1,500 fine. That's gonna be probated. I know you all said this $500 donation to the food bank. How's he gonna pay $500 to a food bank when he's trying to support 2 children, keep a house on a menudo salary?
Well, Judge, the idea was instead of paying some fine to the unknown governmental machine, he could pay to the food bank. You know, I guess it's somewhat punitive, but it helps the county in which he lives in lieu of just some nameless $1,500 fine.
Carl, I know you agreed to, well, let me ask this. Mr. Perkins, how much money do you have left over after you pay all your bills?
Not that much really. I still get help from my mom, pay my bail bond and stuff like that. So really not that much.
And our only thought behind it, Judge, is it's a third of what the fine the state was asking. So it was still better than what was initially recommended.
Okay. All right, this is what I'm going to do. $1,500 fine, that will be probated. 5 years deferred adjudication. Take in consideration grand jury number 738121. County Court cause number 650668. Rebecca, is he allowed to work at the food bank with his deferred adjudication or no?
I'm not sure what the nature of the offense, Judge. Because some agencies are based on the offense.
Okay. Then this is what I'm going to do then. I'm going to do 100 hours of community service restitution. And you can either do that 100 hours of community service restitution, or you can pay $3. Usually I do $7.25 per hour, or you can pay $3 per hour to the San Antonio Food Bank instead of doing those 100 hours of community service restitution.
How do I do $3 an hour?
I'll explain it to you.
And then there's no contact with Jose Aguilera. I know I'm butchering the R's. It's Aguilera. Aubrey Reed, Aubrey. Emari, Emari. Freeman. Nicholas Cornelius. And who is Raekwon Fields? Do you know Raekwon Fields?
No, man, I'm not too sure.
All right, I'm going to add no contact with Raekwon Fields because he's listed as a suspect. It's Rayquan Fields. Proof of employment within 15 days. No employment as a home health care provider or as in any position that involves the supervision of minor children. I'm going to do $120 donation to the San Antonio Food Bank. And I want you to either get your GED or get into some type of trade school. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to Zoom or do you need help with that?
I know how to Zoom.
All right, so it'll be regular Zoom with probation or in person. So if your Zoom doesn't work, you'll have to be in person.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll do regular UA, or you can do the patch, whichever you want to do. The patch costs more. And I'm going to do field visits 1 time per month, random.
Yes, ma'am.
Rebecca, does he need anything else?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Perkins, do you need anything else in order to be successful on this probation?
No, ma'am. Not that I know of.
Okay. I'm going to show you trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're going to go off the record. Mr. Perkins, you have made your life so much difficult than it needed to be. And I say that because you have this felony probation, you have 2 children, and you dropped out of school. This is where you are now, but that doesn't mean this is where you will end up. So I want you to change. I want you to do better. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So do what will make your children proud. And everything you do from here on out, you need to ask yourself, is the decision I'm making something that will result in me possibly going to prison for 20 years? You understand? So that
ma'am.
means you must report to probation. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If there's nothing else, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Probation will go over conditions with you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
And after that, may we be excused, Judge?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. And Rebecca, I'm trying to, oh, you're already in 2. All right, the last thing that we're waiting on is we're just waiting for Mr. Hernandez to come out of the breakout room.
Yes, sir. It looks like you might be going to try. Yeah. Yeah. So unfortunately, my prosecutor is out May 24th to the 26th, and we'll be back to 27th. So that's why, right, those are the only days that I've been really treatment. Just let me know, I can get with him and see what his schedule is like. Maybe we can move something around and be able to schedule. I'll call you in 3 o'clock on Friday. Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Would it be,
Yes.
hi, Judge, I'm sorry. Would it be possible to go into the breakout room with Mr. Hernandez and the prosecutor? Am I allowed to speak with the prosecutor?
Yes. I will send you all to breakout room number 3.
Okay, thank you.
And Joe Ray, if you can go to number 3, please.
Judge, can I see you in a breakout room?
Yes. I'll see you in breakout room number 4.
Thank you.
Judge, we're back whenever the court's ready.
Yes.
Yes, I conferred with both defense and his immigration. Judge, we're gonna have sort of reset. There's some unique immigration consequences. He cannot take a plea. That it would affect, speaking to them, it would affect his status in the US. So I'm just asking for a brief reset to see what
Okay.
it might be a recharge.
Okay. And see, Teresa Coles Davila has come in here and she's made everybody start rubbing their foreheads. Like,
Sorry.
okay. How much time do you all need?
It's up to you, Joe Ray.
Judge, 2 weeks, I should be able to figure it out.
Okay, so let's do this. Let me close the breakout rooms. And when I close the breakout rooms, they'll come back automatically here in 60 seconds. So are you all going to need any more input from Miss Davila? That way, if we're coming back and she needs to be here, we can arrange it around her schedule and everybody else's schedule.
She might be helpful, Your Honor, depending on what Joe Ray is going to come up with.
All right.
I can come back. It's not a problem.
All right. So you're saying 2 to 3 weeks, Joe Ray?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Is 3 weeks better or 2 weeks?
3 weeks would be better.
All right. So Norma, can you throw out 3 dates for us?
You said 3 dates?
Yes, in 3 weeks, just something for everybody to choose from.
14th, 16th, and 17th.
All right.
The 16th works for me.
16th is good for me.
All right, Joe Ray, how's the 16th?
Sounds good, Judge.
All right, and I'm hoping, because I've closed the room. Okay, your client. Maria, could you speak with Mr. Ules? I know I'm mispronouncing that name.
Willie.
Uli, thank you. Could he unmute for me, please?
Monsieur Ouellet, est-ce que vous pouvez allumer votre microphone, s'il vous plaît?
Ok, madame. C'est allumé?
Oui.
We're going to come back, Maria, if you're available, on June 16th.
Checking. Yes.
Awesome. Do you know you're the only interpreter in all of Texas, I guess, who speaks French? Where are we living? What is going on here, people?
There's at least one more in Austin that I know of, but he's pretty busy all the time. He has 3 languages, so.
You know, we had somebody to come here to interpret French before. And so I'm like, great, we're going to have this person to come and interpret it in French. And I would say 3 paragraphs and they were not saying anything. And I know some French. It doesn't start coming back to me till I am around people who speak French. And I was looking at everyone and I'm like, that's not what I said. I know there should have been more than 4 words. And so I was like, don't paraphrase me, just say everything that I'm saying. And so we had to go through 2 interpreters. So you're the first great French interpreter that
Thank
we
you
have
so
had.
much, Judge. Merci beaucoup.
Aw. So, and you know, my mom watches, so she called me and she said, I just like listening to Maria. She's always happy and in a good mood. And if she were my child, she could be saying something horrible about me. I would still say, that's so sweet.
Oh, please send my regards to your mother then.
Okay, what you just said, because she watches what you just said, could you say that to her in French?
Yes. Madame, pour la mère de Madame la juge, je vous en prie et je vous remercie de vos compliments. Merci beaucoup.
All right. So we're going to come back then on June 16th. And so are you all, is it best for you guys in the morning or in the afternoon?
I'm available all day.
Me too.
You need to know.
Either one.
All right. I'm sorry, Teresa.
Anytime. I'm available anytime that day.
All right. Could you ask, see, I just say Sakala. Can you ask him if if it's best for him in the morning or the afternoon? Because I noticed he was at work and I don't want to interfere with that.
Monsieur Ouellet, nous allons retourner le 16 juin. Ce jour-là, quel est le meilleur horaire pour vous? Le matin ou l'après-midi?
Le matin, c'est bon.
He says morning is good.
Okay, so we will be back at 9 a.m. on June 16th.
Alors, on sera de retour ici à 9 heures du matin le 16 juin.
C'est compris, madame.
I understood, ma'am.
All right. Au revoir.
Au revoir, madame. Passez bonne journée.
Oh,
Wishes a great day to everyone.
oh,
Thank
you.
Thank you. Thank you, Teresa. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Merci,
Thank
merci.
you. Have a great rest of the day.
Oh, thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Au revoir, Madame la juge.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you, Judge.
All
Bye.
right, great. All right, on that high note, I'm going to stop the live stream and we will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Hopefully everybody has a great rest of the day and enjoy the sun.